Okay, so today we get to share a little story of something that happened to us in our past. And I felt that I should share the one story that always gets asked for me to share. Several years ago, I was working at Porter Cable. It was a place where, I currently work now. The name has changed. It's now Stanley Black & Decker. At the time, I was in shipping department. There was a fellow by the name of Brad. He came to me one day and he said, "Hey man, you really like these peppers?" And I'm like, "Man, I love peppers." And he gave me this pepper and it looked a little bit like a bell pepper, except the bottom was very misshapen, and it was just odd looking. It was only about this big. So I broke this thing open and took off the top and raked out all the seeds and took a bite of this thing, and instantly my hair caught fire, my eyeballs flew out of my head. I knew that I had messed up. This is not the one pepper that I needed to be eating. So after I could feel my face again, I stopped actually breathing flames. I decided that I would go ahead and finish my lunch. I finished my lunch, and then at the time I was still a smoker, so I went outside, and we smoking people were out there cutting jabs at me. It's like, I bet that was hot. It was hot. And I got done smoking with the fellas and whatnot, and I went back inside and I had to use the restroom. I took a leak, and then afterwards I went to wash my hands, and I made it about 2 steps outside of the bathroom and fell to my knees in just this horrible pain. Now this bathroom had a set of stairs that was just to the left, and it went upstairs to like a set of offices. Well, I crawled my way up there to these offices and whatnot, and I was in there and I was going through people's drawers. It was a second shift, so nobody was there. I was going through people's drawers looking for anything that I could find, any kind of lotion, cream, hand sanitizers, soap, Coke, anything that I could find to help me relieve this pain that I was in. And I was just looking for anything. So I really didn't find a whole lot of anything. Everything that I found did not help at all. And I went through the office and down the other set of stairs that emptied out to where my current supervisor was at the time. His name was Willie. And I bust into his office and I said, "Willie," and he said, "What is it?" And I said, "Man, you remember those peppers Brad had?" He's like, "What's wrong, man? Is your stomach messed up?" And I said, "No, it's not my stomach, it's my junk." He said, "Get in the truck." So he runs me down to ER, and I'm down there at ER. They're spraying saline solution and skim milk. 2 nurses are just sitting there constantly on my twig and berries, and I'm just trying to be jovial about it. And I said, "I guess this kind of thing happens all the time." And they looked at me and said, "No, really, you're kind of the first." So I went back to work, and here I was back at work. I couldn't even wear my pants or my underwear or anything, and I'm walking around in these scrubs because they gave me some scrubs to walk around in. Fortunately at that time I was a Tarrant truck driver, so I didn't have to worry about walking so much, but I did have to get into where I was going. And I was walking around in these scrubs, and from that day forward, there was no doubt everybody that knew the story and knew what happened forever called me Hot Rod.